There has been some more gameplay as well as information released for the upcoming action RPG Project Mugen, and in our last video a lot of you asked to be kept up to date with the latest information, so let's go through the new gameplay snippets and info. This new information comes from the developers themselves and gives a general overview of what you can expect from the game. It was actually hosted by the game's technical developer, and he highlights some of the goals as well as how they're aiming to achieve them. As mentioned in the video, Project Mugen is an urban-themed open-world action RPG that we think is a great contrast to the normal fantasy-based RPGs that we've been getting lately. The scenario of the game will be having players take on the role of an investigator, researching chaos within the world and making friends to discover the secrets of the world too. The development team is putting a large focus on combining the idea of freedom and the vibe that metropolises give the player to have a large sandbox to mess around in and adventure within. And in relation to that, on our previous video where we spoke a lot about the city, a lot of comments were revolving around how big it was and how they're going to achieve it. Well, in the video they showed the tech that they will be using to achieve the city, and we now know that they will be using procedural generation. It's interesting to see, and supposedly they'll be able to generate the entire city and city environment using this method, which does sound pretty cool. One of the things I'm always worried about though when I hear about procedural generation in games is the variety of the environment or the system that they're using, but it seems like they have set up different mini urban ecosystems within the game to add that variety, so hopefully the procedural generation won't be a problem. We don't currently know the exact map size of the game, but in the tech demo it does seem to show a full-sized map that looks similar in size to something like the Manhattan area from the Marvel Spider-Man games. Something that blew people away when they first saw this game was definitely the movement, as it isn't just a ground-based movement system, and we actually got to see swinging, grappling, swimming, riding, and driving. The developers have mentioned that all of these systems are integrated into a single and easy to understand system. They're calling the system the 3C system, and it will be the game's solution to player mobility, giving the player a lot of freedom to move around both vertically as well as horizontally and with great speed. We have already seen in a number of different gameplay snippets the different types of movement that will be available, but this video actually gives us a better glimpse at the swinging, and it looks great as you aren't just able to swing but also dash, which will hopefully mean that there will be some skill for the player to apply when attempting to get around the city by chaining together different movement options. You won't just be stuck with one movement type as well. In the video they showed us that players will be able to quickly switch between the different movement types, and the player in the video rapidly switches from swinging to riding a motorbike mid-air. The fact that this game has co-op as well as this movement system has us just imagining all of the epic movements that could be possible with a bunch of friends as you web swing around the city. Some open worlds can definitely be very barren with a lack of interactable objects and things to actually do in the play space, and we are concerned that this may be the case here, as it is a large and open but also procedurally generated city. But the developers have addressed some of these worries early on by showcasing some of the things that you can actually do in the city itself. Players will be able to seamlessly explore the external world and indoor areas like stores, and for those asking if the game will have gacha in it, well, look at this. But it is very cool to see that the game will have mini-games too for us to experience, and you can actually pick up a cat, which we know will instantly make it Game of the Year for some people. But in addition to there being a vibrant city to explore and check out, the developers have invested a ton of time into ensuring that objects within the city are actually interactable, as well as having physics applied to them. They essentially want to make it so any object you see will actually be interactable. Well, that was everything for this video, but you should definitely check out the full video for yourself so you can see all of the new gameplay and snippets in action, and let us know what you think about the game so far.
很高兴在这里和大家分享我们的项目，代号无限大。这是一款都市题材的开放世界游戏，我们将扮演一位调查员，寻找和调查各种异闻事件，游历世界，结识伙伴，共同冒险。希望代号无限大能给大家带来在都市中自由探索的新体验。为了让大家感受到都市与自由，我们团队付出了许多努力。我们引入了程序化城市生成技术，它能快速地搭建起整座城市的雏形，加上定制化开发的城市生态系统，完整丰富的都市样貌就呈现在了我们眼前。那么，如何在庞大的都市中高效的移动呢？这也是我们一直以来思考的问题。摆荡、 飞索、游泳、驾驶机车、汽车。这套集成了多种运动方式、高机动性的3C 系统是我们交出的答卷。有了它，我们就能自由地切换运动方式，自在地穿梭于高楼之间。
另外，展现生动的都市生活也是我们始终努力的方向。我们将室内场景无缝接入了大地图，方便玩家在闲逛时进入感兴趣的店铺一探究竟。加上热闹的室外场景、鲜活的角色演出，还有各种贴近生活的玩法，让我们足不出户就能在游戏世界中体验到有趣的都市生活。未来，我们将进一步探索都市的多样性和可能性，大家可以期待一下。
说起在都市中的自由探索，我们的设计师提出，如果街道旁的那些物件不仅仅是摆设，而是可以被破坏和利用的，那会不会更加自由有趣呢？然后我们负责城市生态系统的同学又增加了很多工作，当然这是非常值得的。漫步在代号无限大的街头，你几乎可以与场景中所有物件进行互动，不论化身街头恶霸大搞破坏，还是回到童年与猫咪躲猫猫，在这里都可以实现。好了，这一次的分享到此结束，感谢大家，期待代号无限大和大家正式见面的那一天。